Have you ever wondered why you keep going back to someone who hurts you, disrespects you, or drains your energy, even when you know they're bad for you? Here's the shocking truth. It's not weakness, it's your brain. And today, I'll show you exactly how it traps you. We've all been there. That one friend, partner, coworker, or ex who causes stress, yet somehow feels impossible to let go of. You promise yourself, this is the last time, but somehow you get pulled back in again. And here's the wild part. Psychology shows this isn't random. Your brain is literally wired to be attracted to certain toxic patterns. The science behind this will surprise you. In this video, you'll learn why your brain loves toxic people, how this cycle forms, and most importantly, how to break free without blaming yourself. Let's get into it. So what does it actually mean when we say your brain loves toxic people? It doesn't mean your mind wants pain. What it means is your brain gets emotionally hooked to unstable emotional patterns, especially relationships that create emotional highs and lows. Here's a simple example. Imagine someone who gives you attention one day, then ignores you the next. When they finally come back, you feel relief, excitement, even euphoria. That emotional roller coaster creates a powerful psychological attachment. Another example, you keep forgiving someone who disrespects your boundaries because when they re-nice, they're incredibly charming. That contrast makes the good moments feel even stronger. What is actually happening in your brain is something psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, when rewards come unpredictably. This is the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. Your brain becomes obsessed with chasing the next emotional win. From an evolutionary perspective, humans are wired to seek connection at almost any cost. Thousands of years ago, being socially rejected meant danger. So your brain developed survival systems that cling to relationships, even unhealthy ones. But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't about love. It's about chemistry, habit, and emotional conditioning. Let's break down what's happening inside your brain step by step. Think of your brain like a reward machine. When someone gives you affection, validation, or attention, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical responsible for motivation and craving. Dopamine doesn't make you happy, it makes you want more. Now here's the trap. When affection is inconsistent, sometimes warm, sometimes cold, dopamine spikes even higher. Studies on reward psychology show that unpredictable rewards create stronger addiction patterns than consistent ones. This is why social media notifications and slot machines work so well. Another key player is oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. Physical closeness, emotional vulnerability, and shared experiences release oxytocin, which increases trust and attachment, even when the person is harmful. Your brain also activates something called the familiarity bias. If you grew up around emotional chaos, criticism, or instability, your brain may associate those patterns with normal. So toxic behavior feels familiar, and familiar feels safe, even when it's not healthy. There's also trauma bonding, where emotional pain mixed with affection creates an intense attachment. Your nervous system gets stuck in a cycle of stress and relief. From an evolutionary standpoint, your brain prioritizes emotional survival over logic. It chooses connection over comfort, attachment over peace. And that's why you can logically know someone is bad for you, while emotionally feeling pulled toward them. Let's make this real. Picture this. You're dating someone who constantly hot and cold texts you. When they disappear, you feel anxious. When they reply, your mood instantly improves. You start measuring your happiness based on their attention. That's your dopamine loop in action. Sarah noticed that every time she tried to distance herself from a toxic friend, She felt guilty. The friend would suddenly become kind, apologize, and promise change. Sarah stayed not because she was weak, but because her brain was responding to emotional relief. Imagine a boss who criticizes you constantly, but occasionally praises you in front of others. That rare approval feels powerful. You start working harder just to feel that emotional reward again. Some people grow up chasing approval from emotionally unavailable parents. Later in life, they're drawn to partners who emotionally withhold love, recreating the same pattern. If you've experienced this, you're not alone. Millions of people repeat these cycles without realizing the psychology behind them.